let's talk about the Creator Festival. So in case you missed it, on October 20th, Pinterest hosted their second ever Pinterest Creator Festival that highlighted app updates as well as, the direction that the platform is going. So just in case you don't feel like sitting through a 50+ minute presentation, or you wanted to just talk about it because we've got to talk about it, this is the video for you. So be sure to hit that like button if you love Pinterest, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I love being your Pinterest coach. Okay, let's talk about the Creator Festival. One thing that's clear is that idea pins ain't going nowhere. Idea pins are here to stay, and yes, you need to start creating idea pins. So if you've been on the fence and you're wishing and hoping that idea pins would just not be a thing anymore, guess what? They're even more of a thing now. Pinterest is not only doubling down, but I would say they are tripling down on idea pins. And you'll notice that even on the home feed of the app, idea pins are taking up even more space than they did before. So I'm going to break down the biggest product updates for you about Pinterest, as well as some of my thoughts about the Creator Festival, as well as some actions that you can take to make sure that you're growing your Pinterest presence in line with what the platform is all about. Okay, so the newest updates to Pinterest that were announced, I'd say there's about 3 of them. They all very heavily relate to, you can guess it, idea pins. Idea pins are not going anywhere. So number 1 is that you can now get more engagement on idea pins. They launched this new feature called Takes, which allows other users to post their own take on your idea pin. So previously, people could only react or comment, maybe save or share your idea pin. Now they can post their own version of whatever your idea is. So just like JLo is posting requests for Halloween costumes and people can post, your take is going to appear on that person's idea pin. So it's a great way for you to engage with your audience, but also for you to engage with other content creators within your niche, of course. So think about that. How can you get known or also get discovered by using this feature? So you simply have to toggle it on for any of your pins so people can post their own takes. Okay, so the second biggest update is about the new paid promotion tools. Okay, so now when you post a pin and you tag a brand, which isn't an entirely new feature, that brand can now run your pin as an ad, okay? And you get paid. So say, for example, there's some beauty product or maybe even some art supply or whatever, a piece of furniture that you bought and you love in your home office, and you made a video pin about it. You tag that brand as a partnership, and then they can choose to run your pin as an advertisement, getting you, of course, more views, more likes, more engagement, but most of all, it's getting you paid. All right. There's also the try on feature. If you haven't heard of it, there's about 10,000 products available within the Pinterest app that allows others to try on the product that you're recommending. So whether it's some amazing, eyeshadow or lipstick. So if you're a beauty blogger, you want to pay attention to this feature, they can try it on. And on top of that, we're also able to tag products. The biggest update is in terms of Amazon. So if you're an Amazon associate or an Amazon affiliate, you're able to then tag your Amazon affiliate links on your pin and get paid. Because previously you were not able to add direct Amazon links to Pinterest, but now you can tag those products and get paid. See how amazing that is? Because before, if you wanted to, you'd have to post, say, a blog post, and in that blog post, you would have that affiliate link. Now you're able to do that direct integration, which is super exciting. Who doesn't love to get paid? Okay, so the next feature, you're able to get paid for creating content that Pinterest users are interested in. It's called the Creator Reward Program. So say, for example, Pinterest is looking for certain types of recipes or certain types of content. they're going to put this out there and you can accept the challenge. And when you create the content, you get paid. You're seeing the theme here, right? Pinterest is increasingly becoming an influencer marketing type of platform where you get paid. Lots of e-commerce things happening, especially with those PayPal rumors that PayPal might be buying Pinterest. And if that happens, you can bet even more changes like this is going to be happening. Okay, so the third updates are in terms of just app and website changes. So now on the Pinterest app, there is a watch tab where you're able to view and see all the idea pins that people are posting. You can see it's dominantly video. Yes, I know you're getting some TikTok vibes, but this is Pinterest, right? And it's all about idea pins. You can also see that once again on the homepage of the app, more real estate is now being given to idea pins at the top of the feed. So if you haven't started creating idea pins as yet, this is a chance for you to get seen by not only your followers, but other pinners as well. Okay, and the next big update is that there is now a creator hub, which is going to allow you to see what those reward program options are. It's just a way and a place for you to stay on top of what's going on with your idea pins and everything that you're going to be creating as a creator, because congrats, you're now a Pinterest creator. Okay, so those are the biggest changes. If you don't have access to all the features as yet, as per usual, Pinterest is rolling these out sequentially. Usually it's to the US and then to those other countries like Canada, France, Germany that usually get features first, but hang tight. I've heard that they're rolling out. So for example, today I got access to the Creator Hub and it wasn't there yesterday. So be sure to go update your app and hang tight for those updates coming your way. Okay, so now that we've got through all of the big updates from the 2021 Pinterest Creator Festival, can we just take a minute to talk about what this actually means? So I was there live watching this and I had some mixed feelings. I was surprised to feel a bit nervous. And yes, I love and appreciate how inclusive Pinterest is, but maybe it was because the creators that they were highlighting were so extraordinary in my eyes and so out there that I found myself wondering, am I now too boring for Pinterest? Like, oh, my standard pins just aren't cutting it. And like, unless I'm willing to be out there and on video, where do I belong in this new Pinterest? So maybe you have similar feelings like that, because for a long time, Pinterest has been a platform for introverts. We've been able to avoid for a long time not putting the camera on ourselves and being seen and confident and to be out there. And as someone who isn't doing something that I, in my opinion, think is super extraordinary, like I'm not creating these amazing sunglasses with crystals, or, like I don't have like some like fabulous look that is super out there, right? And maybe you're feeling the same way. And, thinking about these feelings, it reminds me a lot of my hesitation that I had way back in, 2016, before starting my blog. For about 6 months, I sat with this feeling of, but I'm not interesting enough, but who is going to even read my blog? And I'm having some of those sentiments right now. So if you're feeling that way, it's because you're being called to stretch and step a bit out of your comfort zone, right? I found it so interesting that the Creator Festival, which to me would be like this business presentation all about features, was at the heart of it a talk about self-growth, confidence, and authenticity, which is something I know so much about over on my blog, It's All You Boo, which is the blog that I started when I was talking to you guys about like 2016. So if you're feeling that way, I want to just echo to you some of the advice that the creators who were highlighted had. And it's, what, you've just got to be authentic to you. And authenticity, that's a word that's used a lot, but that simply means that you need to show up in a way that is you. You're not copying or mimicking what others are doing. You're simply expressing who you are and what you do and inviting others in on that process. And if you're struggling with idea pins, I really do encourage you, get started. And if you need help with that, click down below, check out my course. It's called the Idea Pin Starter Kit. I share with you 10 styles of idea pins that you can create. And there's even templates, so it's so much easier. It's not just you sitting there staring at a blank canvas, not knowing what to post. And a tip that I have for you is think about, anytime you send like a photo or a video to like your best friend, maybe you're just like in some WhatsApp chat with your friends, right? And that is kind of like the intimacy and the behind the camera experience that you should bring to your idea pins. Those little, moments for your blog, your business, and your brand that don't necessarily make it to a blog post or a YouTube video or whatever it is you're used to creating. So I encourage you to find ways to create that and to get confident and comfortable with yourself. So one other tip I have for you is that you want to create a space. So like, this is my space for filming YouTube videos. I'm very confident and comfortable here. So you need to create that space for when you're creating idea pins. And I find that it's so much easier that way when you have a bit of a set or a space that is just for being on and pressing record. So I hope that this video was helpful. That was my recap and thoughts and tips about Pinterest 2021 Creator Festival. I'm wishing you all the luck with idea pins. Get started. Push through the discomfort, get comfortable with it, and start creating. So if you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up, letting YouTube know, and be sure to subscribe to my channel because I love being your Pinterest coach, and I've got weekly free training coming your way. And speaking of training, stick around and check out this video. It's going to be helpful to you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.